Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video I want to talk about the latest news on TypeScript. Basically, Microsoft is porting the compiler of TypeScript from TypeScript to Go. It's an important news because for Go programmers, it's a sign that the language continues to grow, right? It's very important. And for TypeScript programmers, it means more productivity. And this is where it gets more interesting. Anders Hejlsberg, which is the lead engineer for TypeScript, he is also the designer of C# and Delphi. He used to work for Boland, where he designed Delphi, and then moved to Microsoft, designed C#, then TypeScript now. So he is huge. He is one of the best engineers in the world. And I followed him for a very long time. When I started following him since 2009, when I used to program in Delphi. Delphi is for building desktop applications and almost anything actually. But we were building desktop applications using Baccarat Studio from Boland, that time, 2009. Now, this news came out just a few days ago, as you can see from here. It just came out a few days ago, and I want to play some part of the video that I am quite interested in. So let me start the beginning of the video.
Hi, everyone. This is Anders Hejlsberg, lead architect of the TypeScript project and technical fellow at Microsoft. Today, I'm here to talk about Project Corsa, which is our effort to port the TypeScript compiler and toolset to native code.
Now, that's a basic introduction, but I want to forward the video to about 3 minutes, 20 seconds, so we can hear.
What I'm going to show you now, you saw that compiling Visual Studio Code with our existing compiler takes about a minute. Now we're going to take a look at how long does it take with our new native code compiler. And there we go, a little over 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds. So we're talking more than 10x faster here, which is quite dramatic. You know, that means your projects will load 10 times faster. That means your batch compiles will be 10 times faster.
And this is interesting, right? Like just porting the code from TypeScript to Go, they gain 10x. In short, I think some other projects is even more than 10x if you come here, right? Like this is 13x, this is 11x, and he mentions some of the reasons, like concurrency and other concurrency and the ability to compile to native code and all that. But for me, it goes a little beyond that. For me, it's about the fact that the designers of Go, they were able to find a balance between this efficiency and productivity for engineers. Normally, these two things can be very difficult to achieve, especially if you are do you try to be more efficient and maybe less productive, or you want to be more productive and a little bit less efficient? But for the designers of Go, which are great engineers, they've been able to find that balance that in Go, you can be super productive and at the same time design efficient system with the language. So it's fantastic news. I want to go forward a little bit. I am going to leave a link to the video for you to watch. I want to come here and then play.
I wanted to also talk a little bit about how did we actually get all of this extra performance. 10x is pretty dramatic, right?
Yeah.
It turns out that about half of the performance gain comes from moving to native code. The other half comes from our ability to use concurrency. Let me try and illustrate this by first compiling, doing a full compile of the old TypeScript compiler, using the old TypeScript compiler. So this is about 250,000 lines of code that's being checked and emitted, and it takes about 7 seconds. Let's now try and compile it with our new compiler, but let's force the compiler to run single-threaded. And you'll see it completes in about 2 seconds. So we're getting about 3.5x here from being native. But if we try to do it concurrent, which is the default, you'll see that we complete in less than a second. And here we are about 8x faster. Part of why it isn't 10x.
You know, honestly, if you are not excited, then I don't know what you're doing. But look at, like, they went from 7 seconds to less than a second, you know, just by leveraging Go concurrency, you know. And even without the concurrency, they went from 7 seconds to 3 seconds. So this is really, 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 really important. It's a great news for the Go community. It's also a great news for the TypeScript community, and I think even software engineering as a whole. In some part of I think somewhere around here he mentioned the reason why they chose Go, and I think this is something you should watch as well. They had the option of Rust, of course C#. He's the designer of C#, and even C++, right? But they choose Go instead because Go is very cross-platform. It's also efficient. It's also a very productive language. That means you can get engineers together to start working on something today and you start seeing results almost immediately. Yeah, so yeah, if you have not been taking your Go programming very serious, it is time to invest more time. It is time to understand that this language is going to be here for a very long time. More people are choosing Go for their microservices, for building government applications, banking applications, almost anything that you can imagine. Go for me is the best for microservices because when you compile the binary, it's a single binary and your images are always thin, very small images that you need to push around. So thank you so much for watching. This is just a quick video. It's more like a news video. And if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you for supporting the channel and see you soon. Bye.